What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. I hope that all of you guys are having an amazing Thursday. So, Cardi B has officially filed for divorce from Offset once again. Some people on social media are speculating that this is a result of, him being in the casino found with that young woman who was 8 months pregnant with her late husband's child. He, took to his social media saying that the shorty y'all see me with is not my shorty, and everyone's like, okay, right? Because he's had a pattern of behavior that's questionable that allows people to give him the side eye. So Cardi B did what she had to do. She went down to the courthouse, she filed the paperwork, and we're going to see if, she's going to go through with it this time. Let me go ahead and get into this article. It says it's the end of the road for Cardi B and Offset once again. Cardi B has filed for divorce from her estranged husband on Wednesday, her rep confirmed. The rep did not provide additional details, but we're told that Cardi is seeking primary custody of their children. And this time, she's not backing down, she's not folding. A source familiar with the situation told Page Six that the latest rumors that Offset cheated was not the straw that broke the camel's back for Cardi. She says, "We've grown apart, and that's what drove her to this decision more than anything else," the insider claimed. This is something that she wants to do. Since the start of the couple's marriage, there have been rumors that Offset has allegedly been unfaithful. Just this week, he denied the latest cheating rumors after he was spotted publicly with a woman he apparently had dated in the past. Okay, see, I didn't know that part. I knew that it was a woman and she was 8 months pregnant and they were spotted at the casino. But what I didn't know was that she was an old flame. Yeah, I don't blame Cardi. That's ridiculous. Cardi, who's 31, and Offset, who's 32, share a daughter, Culture, who's 5, and a son, Wave, who's 2. A source told us that Cardi's main priority is obtaining primary custody of their 2 children. There's also been speculating that she's expecting a third child, but Cardi has not publicly confirmed that she's pregnant or acknowledged the speculation. Okay, this is an old article because I'm going to make a separate video about her pregnancy announcement. Today has been like super long. I'm getting caught up on all of my content, but this must have been written as soon as she put the word out that she was divorcing her husband. And again, I don't blame her because he has embarrassed her publicly repeatedly, you know? I mean, I don't know. These men who step out on their wives and think that nothing is supposed to happen, like there's not supposed to be any consequences. I mean, Cardi is, she is someone who is talented. She is beautiful. She is someone who, in my opinion, really has tried to keep that family together in the midst of Offset repeatedly stepping out on her and embarrassing her. It's ridiculous. It says, we're told that the divorce did not come as a surprise for Offset since they've both been trying to figure out what their future looks like for a while now. It's not something that happened overnight. They've both been on the same page and there wasn't pushback. They've grown apart and that feeling has gotten stronger over time. It's become unavoidable. See, and that's when you bring in a third party. I don't understand why people, why you wouldn't want to seek a professional. Like they have the money, they have the means, they have the time, you know, that they could bring even and they live in such a nice area or, they're so famous if they didn't want to go out, they could absolutely invite a therapist to their home. Doctors make house visits all the time. They could sit down with a really good marriage and family therapist and unpack a lot of their issues. But that, I guess that takes a level of, I don't even want to say maturity, but maybe they just didn't think of it. Or maybe they're just, like they said, they've grown apart, and that's just the end of the relationship. It just wasn't worth trying to save anymore or salvage. Offset and Cardi were married in September of 2017, but they split up several times throughout the marriage, including in 2020 when Cardi first filed for divorce, but then she reconciled with her husband. She has documented their ups and downs multiple times. Yes, she has. Through social media. Yeah, that's been a wild ride. In 2023, she shared a cryptic message on Instagram explaining, she said, when you just outgrow relationships, I'm tired of protecting people's feelings. I got to put myself first. And there it is, right? Like Cookie on Empire, when she was like, I got to put me first, Lucius. I got to put me first. Absolutely. Especially if you're married to someone who essentially has put themselves first, right? He has not been the protector, the provider, the leader, the husband that she needed. For him repeatedly stepping out on her, she absolutely has to put herself first. Not only herself, but she has to look out for the well being of her children. She confirms that she's been single for a minute, days after she posted the message. Still, the couple appeared to continue to work on their marriage. Months ago in April, they were spotted on a date night in New York at the Knicks game at Madison Square Garden. Today, however, she's focused on moving on. She says she has no ill will towards him. She's wishing him the best. She's not going into the next season of her life with any beef or any drama. She wants everything to be very peaceful. A representative for Offset did not return the request for comment, and he's not going to, right? I feel like it goes back to that old adage. Whoever, I think they said it was like a Jamaican proverb. They said women care too early and men care too late. And I'm like, that is bars, right? Because a lot of times women, and I feel like we're conditioned from a young age and socialized to find a lot of our validation and worth through relationships, especially those with men, in romantic relationships. So women will, do everything to like secure the man, secure, that relationship. Um, and but with men, like women gatekeep intimate relations, men gatekeep marriage, typically, right? So when it comes to, you know, them stepping out or them messing up or whatever, once a woman is fed up and she walks away, then that's when they realize they've lost it all. It reminds me of Martell and Melody from Love of Marriage Huntsville. Um, or, even Kevin Hunter with Wendy Williams. I mean, these men left their wives, had, outside babies on them, and then their world just completely fell apart. They did not marry these women, their side chicks or whatever, that they impregnated. They lost their family, they lost their money, they lost their social status, they lost, everything professionally, personally. Like they're just spiraling out of control. And unfortunately, they're not as famous as Offset. So I feel like he has the resources and the means to, keep himself afloat and hopefully not spiral like Martell and Kevin Hunter. But I mean, Cardi, I feel like she's the brains of this family too. Not saying that the Migos aren't successful in their own right, because they are. Rest in peace, Takeoff. But I just feel like, Cardi, she's a solo artist. She is a bigger artist than her husband. I'm hoping that's not a situation with like Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston where he was, essentially jealous of her success. Whitney Houston talked about how she sat down with Oprah Winfrey and she said that she was making herself smaller and trying to downplay her success after The Bodyguard, and she shot to superstardom. That's still to this day the best selling soundtrack of all time. Whitney was the best to ever do it. And I remember watching her as a kid, and everyone was just mesmerized by her. But when she got married to Bobby Brown, and of course, people were saying that she had substance abuse issues before that. But I feel like that marriage just made things worse. And he really did try to dim her light, and you could see it. So I feel like if, these men who are with these really successful women, they are, I don't know if it brings out their insecurities, they're threatened by that. They step out on them, with these other women to try to level the playing field, try to make themselves feel better about their own insecurities or whatever their feelings of inadequacies are. Um, But I feel like if you really want to salvage the relationship, those are some issues you could work out in therapy, on the therapist's couch, if you put in the work. But if you're already that far gone and already that insecure, then you're probably not going to want to seek out or invest in a therapist to affirm what your wives are telling you, right? Because if you're already an insecure man, the last thing you want is a therapist saying, well, yeah, like you have an issue with, your own feelings of inadequacy and insecurity. And that's the thing, right? Those are just feelings. That's not the truth. But if your ego, um, you know, is dependent upon you, I don't know, I guess having this grandiose idea of what a man is, but not doing the work, not doing the, being consistent every day, putting your family and your wife and your children before your own um, ego, and being, having that arrogant, grandiose sense of this this idea instead of the reality, right? A true man protects and provides for his family, and they're there in the good times and the bad. And I feel like, once they realize that and they realize their women are gone for good, that's when reality hits like a ton of bricks, but it's too late by then. So, you guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'm going to make a separate video about Cardi B and her pregnancy announcement. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk with you in the next one. Take care, aces. Bye.